Okay, Alex, can you introduce yourself? Where are we?
We're in Manor Place in the Challenges Worldwide office, and I guess the reason we're here is this weekend I'm heading south to do Tough Guy. This is billed as the safest, most dangerous thing you can do in the UK. It's a tough cross-country race followed by a tougher assault course. It's going to involve lots of mud, it's going to involve lots of ice, freezing water, crawling through mud and being electrocuted. The reason I'm doing this is I'm hoping to raise a bit of money for a number of charities, and the way I want to do this is I've added up the number of people in my various social networks. I figured out there's about 1,000 after I discounted for bots and crossovers, and I asked myself, would these people buy me a beer? And I just thought, well, I hope so. Well, would they donate £3 to charity for me? And I thought, well, I hope so. So that's my kind of model for making money through micro donations.
Alright, how are you going to divvy out the beer money?
Well, it's not beer money, all of this is going to charity, but 50% of the money is going to go to the Tough Guy charities. And these include a Help the Heroes Sanctuary, a Horse Sanctuary, a Paralysis Assistance charity, and a Street Kids charity. Now, half of it also going to go towards the charity I work for, Challenges Worldwide. This is going to improve the pull and usability of our website, and in turn allow us to focus a bit more on all of our efforts on helping small to medium enterprises in developing countries become more environmentally, economically and socially sustainable through either professional volunteering or financial investment.
Alright, loads of good causes, but it's a bit of a social media experiment for you too.
Absolutely. Now, something I'm really interested in is seeing how micro donation is going to work within the charity sector. I think it's a great and transparent way to focus on one specific issue or one specific charity. And there's been a lot of bad press over the years about the lack of transparency within the charity sector, and it's something we really want to address. Otherwise, we're going to risk donor apathy in the sector.
Okay, how is this going to be better than like old-fashioned methods of fundraising? How can this be more effective?
Well, in the past, you've got chain letters, you've got word of mouth, you've got fundraising events. Now, these cost money, they take a lot of time. By using an amalgamation of all the personal social networks, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, I'm really hoping that we can use offline and online support to attract hundreds, thousands of people, unite them into something that they might not have heard about, and really get them excited about something very quickly. And our pre-social networks, that method would have just been very limited or actually completely unobtainable.
Alright, I see. And you're trying to connect this to your work as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the UK, major international charities they've been very successful. They've outsourced street fundraisers to raise finance, and this idea of small donations has kind of works really well for some sites. So people like Kiva.org or myc4.com allow you to provide tiny donations to finance single projects in developing countries. Now, it's really worthwhile, and it helps people to get involved in real depth in financing individuals who need this sort of investment, and that insures them against bad growing seasons. It buys them seed for initial farm plots, and that's great. It's really, really important. However, we also here at Challengers think it's hugely important to support the small to medium enterprises in developing countries. Now, the UN estimates that there's about 120 million small and medium enterprises in the world, and that accounts for quite a lot of the global business. There's 50 to 60% of employment is in small and medium enterprises, SMEs. 25 to 30% of the world's manufactured exports come from SMEs. And while that's fantastic, but in developed countries, the SMEs account for about 51% of the gross domestic product. Of our big countries, about 29% of middle-income countries. But in developing countries, there's a big gap. The small to medium enterprises only account for about 16% of the GDP. So what we're trying to do is find more resources, be that professional volunteers, market linkages, or financial investment. We're going to turn that into use that to turn young small to medium enterprises into business that will have a long-term economic, social and environmental impact on community. And this is really going to help the developing countries where traditionally access to finance or professionals is quite difficult.
Alright, it sounds like a pretty massive operation. I didn't realise it was so big in this part of Edinburgh, that it was all happening in this one place. And how can people find out more about what you do here?
Well, obviously, if you'd like to know more about Challenges, we do have a website, www.challengesworldwide.org. I'd love you to send me an email, just alex@challengesworldwide.org. And of course, if you're really able, we'd love you to donate the price of a beer towards some really worthwhile causes.